everyone, and welcome to our next video. This time I'm going to be telling you a story, so sit back, relax, and pay close attention so that you do very well in the quiz later. Anyways, as I was saying, let's get started with our story. Once upon a time, after all, once upon a time is the best way to start stories. Once upon a time, there was a little boy. He was just your average kind of kid. He was nice, he did well in school, he listened to his parents, he had great friends. And one day his mom asked him to go to the grocery store for her. She gave him $20 and told him, I want you to go get these groceries that are on this list. Whatever money is left over after you've gone to the grocery store is yours to keep for helping me out. So the little boy got so excited. He took the money, he took the list, and he headed off to the store. Now, on the way to the store is the arcade. And going to the arcade was his favorite thing to do with his friends. In fact, that's what he planned on using his extra money for once he was done with the grocery shopping. However, as he passed by the arcade, his friends came running out, and they were like, "You'll never believe what happened!" And he's like, "What? You know the guy at school who plays in the arcade too, and he always tries to beat you and everything? He beat your high score on your favorite game!" The little boy couldn't believe it. He took the $20, he took his list, stuck the list in his pocket, took the 20 up to the cashier, asked her for ones, and he took the stack of 21s and ran over to his game. Everybody crowded around him as he took the first dollar and he stuck it in the machine and he put his hands on the wheels and started to play. Everything was going well. However, his score didn't beat the high score. And so he took the next dollar and he stuck it in and he played again. Still nothing. He put another one in. Still not the high score. He put another and another. Now, the boy had already kind of figured out that he would have about $5 left over after he had gone to the grocery store. However, now that his friends were standing over his shoulders cheering him on, and he was just trying to win back his dignity, he didn't really think about how much money he had spent or how much was going to be left. And so, without even thinking, he keeps putting in more money. Another dollar, another dollar, another dollar, until finally he beats the high score and he sets a new record that no one ever thought was possible in the game. Well, his friends congratulate him, and then they look down at their watches and say, "Oh dear, my mom was expecting me home 30 minutes ago. I'm going to be in really big trouble. I'll see you later." So all of his friends scatter. He's feeling victorious, so he looks down at his money and he says, "Oh no. I spent all $20. So, without the groceries his mom asked him to go get, he starts home and he starts wondering, what am I going to tell my mom? She's never going to trust me with money ever again. She's probably going to kill me and ground me forever. And so, he goes home. And when he does, when he walks in the door, his mom is so relieved to see him. She grabs him and she tells him, "Oh, I was so worried about you. I didn't know where you were. You took too long. Where have you been?" Well, the little boy didn't really think about what he was going to say, and so these words kind of just came out of his mouth. I was on my way to the store, and there's a man." "A man?" his mom asked. "What kind of man?" He was a mean man, and, he took the $20 and he left. But it's not a big deal because, I'm not hurt or anything." Well, his mom couldn't believe it. She didn't think it was not a big deal. It was a huge deal. And so immediately she ran over to the phone and she called his dad. And his dad couldn't believe it. So he rushed home from work. He came home. He sat his son down and he said, "Son, tell me exactly what it is that happened." And the boy just sat there and said, "Oh, well, I was on my way to the store, and there was a man, and he took the $20 and he ran away, and he didn't hurt me, so it's not really a big deal." Well, his dad thought it was a huge deal. So he got on the phone and he called the police. Well, next thing he knows, the boy is sitting there with a police officer across from him, and the police officer's asking him, "So, son, will you tell me what happened?" Well, I was on my way to the store and there was a man and he took the $20, but it's really not a big deal because I didn't get hurt or anything. Well, the police officer thought it was a huge deal. So he went back to the office and he told everybody about what had happened, and they started searching for a man that matched the boy's description, which the boy didn't really give a description because there was nobody to tell him about. But anyways, they went searching for this man who had gone after the boy. Well, the boy thought, finally, okay, they're not going to find anybody, so I'm just going to go up to my room, I'm going to relax until this whole thing blows over. So he goes in his room, he lays down on his bed, and then his mom knocks on the door. There's some people from the news here to talk to you, honey. You better go brush your hair and make sure you look nice. The little boy couldn't believe it. He brushed his hair really slowly and then wandered downstairs, and there they all were, from all the local news channels, waiting to hear him talk about what had happened. So he sat down and he told them this story. I was on my way to the store and this man came and he took my $20, and it's really not a big deal because nobody got hurt or anything. He's just gone. Yeah. However, the people at the news thought it was a huge deal. The reporters had it on the 6 o'clock news, and that was the headline for the entire hour. From what he understood, it was the big thing at 11 too, but you know, he wasn't allowed to stay up because it was a school night and everything. So the little boy goes to bed, and he's dreading what's going to happen because the next day is school. So after getting ready, he heads to school and prays that nobody watched the news that night, the night before, that is. However, everybody had watched it. His friends immediately came over to him. They were like, oh, I can't believe what happened to you. Did that happen right after you left us? Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. You were so amazing. How did you not get kidnapped or something? The girls all looked at him and went, oh, you poor thing, I can't believe that happened to you. And all of his teachers, oh my goodness, all they could talk about was, oh, you're such a brave young man. We're so glad we have you here at our school. I'm sure you learned all that brave stuff from me and your dad and all that good stuff. So everybody made a huge deal about it the whole next day. So when the boy finally got home, he ran into his room, he hid in his bed, and hoped that maybe everyone would just forget about what he had said. But they didn't. In fact, that night, the phone rang. His mom came up to his room, and she told him, honey, you're gonna need to pack your nice clothes, and you know that little tie? Yeah, you're gonna need it tomorrow because well, the governor of the state, he kind of heard what happened, and he wants to talk to you about it. All the boy could think about was, oh no, what have I gotten myself into? Now the governor wants to talk to me? So, the little boy put on his suit. He headed with his parents up to the Capitol building, and he told the governor what had happened. I was on my way to the store, and this man came and he took my $20, but it's really not a big deal because nobody got hurt. However, the governor thought it was a huge deal, and in fact, he even started commending the boy for his bravery and gave him a medal on TV. And all the boy had done was lied about what had happened with the $20. Now, I know the story seems kind of ridiculous. In fact, that's why I chose it, because it's kind of funny. But what I really want you guys to learn from this is that everything that we do has some sort of consequence to it. No, you probably aren't going to make your macaroni and cheese for lunch and then end up at the mayor's office next thing you know. But everything that we do has some sort of consequence. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's a big consequence or it's a bad consequence, but there's always something that happens because of a choice that we made. I made a video and told you a story. There are going to be consequences to that, like you watch the video and you remember the story and you laugh, maybe, I hope, kinda. Anyways, everything has some sort of consequence, and that's something that you need to keep in mind, especially as you're on the internet. After all, if I go onto Facebook and I say something, there are going to be consequences that I know are going to happen, and then sometimes there are consequences that you don't intend on happening. For example, if I go on Facebook and I tell everyone that my best friend is the best friend ever, and here's why, because my best friend does stuff for me, and they're nice to me, and they hang out with me, and all this stuff. Well, the intended consequence is that it's going to make my friend feel happy, and it shares my feelings about how wonderful my friend is. Some other consequences that I might not intend on happening, though, is that other people are going to read that, and everybody else on my friends list sees that, and they're going to go, oh yeah, that friend there, that's an awesome friend. I wish I had a friend like that. Maybe I should be better friends with that friend. So it changes how they perceive my friend, and it might also have an effect on how they see me. After all, I'm the one that said all the great things about my friend, so they probably think, oh, well, that was really sweet of that person, you know. However, if you say something that's not nice, even if it's just kind of like a slight remark, nothing major, and you post it on Facebook, or even if you say it to someone else, other people are going to hear it. And just like how a good comment affects how other people perceive the whole situation, the same will happen for a bad comment. If I talk about a friend and say, I hate my friend, they're horrible, I can't believe that they betrayed me, or whatever it is, and I post it up on Facebook, then that means everybody on my friends list sees that. People that know my friend will think poorly of my friend, or they may also think poorly of me. After all, how rude is that to get on Facebook and complain about somebody else? It's just not cool. And so it's going to affect their relationship with me, it's going to affect my relationship with them, and it also could affect their relationship with my friend. And if my friend's on Facebook, or if they hear about it, you can bet it's going to hurt our relationship. After all, sometimes we get upset with people and, you get upset for a brief time, you cool off, and everything's fine. But if you humiliate somebody on Facebook by saying something mean about them, then you may never get that friendship back. Or if you do, it'll take a long time. So whenever you post something, or whenever you even say something at school, or anything, you want to make sure that you think not about just the consequences, but also what kind of unintended consequences there might be. You may not end up in the mayor's office because of something you said, or you may not end up on the news because of what you said, but there still are going to be consequences of some sort. So you always want to be careful about what you say. After all, say good things, everybody wins.